Hello, we are Group 10 and now we are going to present our work of Enex. This will be our agenda. First, we're going to talk about the problem. Second, we're going to speak about the pre-processing of the data. Third, the segmentation. And fourth, the conclusion and recommendations. The description of the problem. Enex is a very large company that provides fuels to a lot of clients in this country. They explained us that they developed a loyalty card and that they wanted to improve the customer retention of the customers that use this card, or to reduce the churning rate of these customers. In order to do that, they provide us with a lot of databases with information of the transactions made by these customers in the past years. We, as a group, using Modeler, we did an analysis of this database, and finally we choose some variables that we think were important to do the segmentation. Those variables are the ones that are shown in the screen. And now we are going to explain why did we choose these variables. As I speak before, they gave us a lot of databases, and what we did first was to append all these databases that are shown here, that are the ones that have information about the transactions made by the customers that have the loyalty card. The most important things that we did in the modeler to resume the process: first, we merge all the append that we did before with the file redes that has the information of the fuel stations around Chile. We also cleaned the database and improved it through a lot of other activities to use a better data for the use of the segmentation. After doing that, we also merged the mainstream with the errors. The errors is a file that contains information about the errors occurred by the use of the loyalty card. This is important because it gives us information about why some customers didn't or couldn't use their loyalty cards. After that, we merge. After the merge, we did a lot of other activities in order to improve our database. But the most important part was the one that we did an aggregate node. With this aggregate node, we create a new table with information of just the customer code and not the driver's code or transactions made. This table provides us with information of just the customer code and use the variables that were shown in the screen before. That was amount of expenses per transaction, the quantity of liters per transaction, the number of cards per client, the location of the Shell fuel station, and the number of errors per card, and finally the frequency of the purchase. After that, we did a process with the node select, but the important thing is that after that we were able to do the key means analysis. The variables that we used in the key means were the same of the aggregate table and are the ones that are shown at the right side of the screen. Now we're going to speak about the segmentation that we find and the analysis that we did before the key means analysis. This analysis gave us, we did 4 clusters in this analysis, and the information that this key means analysis made was that the cluster 1, for example, had an amount of the purchase of 14,000 pesos. The quantity of purchase in this segment was 21 liters. The frequency the frequency of the purchase increased during the summer and the spring, and the location was the center and north of Chile. The size of this cluster was 221 consumers. The second cluster was not very relevant because its size was very small, just 8 customers, so we didn't evaluate it. The third cluster was very big, 253 customers. The amount of the purchase was, on average, 31,000 pesos. The quantity of the purchase was 42 liters. The frequency was that the frequency of the purchase increased during the summer and the spring, and the location was all along Chile. The last cluster was the biggest one, with a size of 340 customers. The amount of the purchase on average was 2,000 pesos. The quantity of the liters was 16, and the frequency of the purchase increased during the summer and spring. And the location was the south of Chile. The conclusions. For the segment 1, we recommend to generate an informative campaign where the benefits of using the card are specified in an easy way so that the people will use it more, to attract new clients, and also to create a plan to review the gasoline stations that don't have the card payment system, especially the ones which are more to the north because they don't have this system. For the third segment, we recommend to use the information of the use of the cards to create a differentiated program of incentives based on purchasing behavior, industry, etc. And for the last segment, the segment 4, we recommend to see the effect that the errors have upon this segment, because they have less use of the card, they load less, and they are the largest segment. For example, load schedule errors, gasoline status restrictions, maximum amounts, etc. Also, to see if more benefits of using the card should be added, focusing on the specific needs of the customers. Discount in UPA stores, for example. Well, this will be our presentation, and we hope that with this recommendation that we did to Enex, they improve the customer retention or reduce the churning rate. Thank you so much.